Greetings, 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 greetings. What's going on? What's going on? This is your brother Chief Kalanaga Flying Eagle. Just wanted to come on here and give you a quick build, man. A quick build. I'm actually at the computer working right now, but I just wanted to take a break. Let me just make sure I got some audio on Facebook, which I do. All right. Cool, cool, cool. So just wanted to come on here, like I said, and share a little bit of information with y'all. I'm not gonna promise to be short or long, you know what I mean? Because you know how I do, right? Sometimes I say the video is gonna be a short video, then I get carried away, right? But I'm always moving in the spirit, so it is what it is. But I hope everybody's having an amazing sunrise and greetings and grand rising to each and every one of you. It is a beautiful day because the sun always shines, right? So even if you look in the sky and you don't see the actual sun, just know that the sun is always shining. Why? Because you are the universe. We are the universe. And within our own selves, we have what's called the solar plex. So in many of us, the solar plex is always shining bright. So therefore, it's always a sunny day. It's always a beautiful day. Too many of us look outside of ourselves to determine what kind of day we're going to have. When the truth is the light, that sun is actually within you. That solar being or that solar plex is actually within you. So that's why me personally, I don't look at the news. I don't do none of that to determine what my day is going to be like. I go within, and that's how I move, when it comes to just living my daily life. But anyway, what this video is about is a lot of people are asking me about, food, what to eat, what do I do, how do I do it. So I'm about sharing because sharing is actually caring. So if you can see the title of the video, it says how to live in evil. Okay. Well, we live in a world of duality, right? Duality and opposites. We cannot escape that. That's just what it is, right? So with that being said, when you look at the word, live, if you spell live backwards, what do you get? Right? If you spell live backwards, what do you get? Guess what? You get evil, right? So therefore, there's no way you could live and not experience evil. It's inevitable. Don't let anybody fool you with this perceptions. There's only good. No, there is good and evil. However, we get to determine what we attract to or what we attract ourselves to, right? It goes vice versa, right? Now, if you look at the word lived, Lived, when you spell that backwards, what do you get? You get the devil. So therefore, anyone who lives will experience evil, and anyone who has lived would have experienced the devil. Okay, we cannot escape the devil. You see what I'm saying? It is just what it is. Now, to heal yourself, when you look at the word heal, how do you heal? You have to look at the word healthy. And in the word healthy and in the word wealth, you find heal. Okay, so you see, it's all connected. So let us talk about the living, right? In life or to live, there is what's called evil. And in lived, there is the devil. So once again, we cannot escape that. But how do we deal with that? How do we overcome? Because you cannot escape it, it doesn't mean you cannot overcome. Well, how do you overcome? First, you overcome by your mind, your mental state of being. That's how you win that battle, because it's actually an internal battle between good and evil within yourself, between learning how to live and at the same time dealing with the evil. So you have to do that from your mental state of being. Now, if you're not mentally wealthy, then you're going to be physically ill. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. If you're not mentally healthy, then you're going to be physically ill. And if you're not physically healthy, you're going to be mentally ill. We cannot separate the two. You feel me? Most people think they could just eat what they want, think of what they want. In other words, your thought process, it could be anything, and believe that you're going to be okay spiritually. No, it's not going to happen that way. You see, religion teaches us how to separate the spiritual from the physical, when the truth of the matter is, because you are in this world, there has to be a what's called a marriage. Okay, so one cannot be without the other. In this realm, if you stop trying to experience the physical, guess what? You're going to die. You feel me? So we have to deal with the duality. All right. So let us talk about greetings once again. All right. So let us talk about life and to live. Okay. First, yes, everything starts from the spiritual or the mental realm. But what facilitates that growth or that spiritual growth in this realm is the physical attributes of yourself, meaning that what you put in your body, because you are what you eat. Whatever you think, you become, because it's not only what comes out of your mouth or what goes into your mouth that defiles you, but also what goes in and what comes out. You feel me? So you have to be in control of that. So a lot of people are asking me, what do I eat? First, I'm going to talk about what I eat. And I'm going to give, this is not any type of health advice. I'm not a nutritionist, none of that. I'm just giving you what I do to be who I am. Okay. So for me, I don't eat meat, right? That's one thing I don't do. I don't eat meat. A lot of people say, oh, well, you could eat. Well, listen, if you want to eat meat, that's on you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. People are asking me what I do. I'm just giving you my regimen. I'm just telling you what I do. Okay. Because in my journey, I've realized that what I eat, it also helps me become who I am and who I'm going to be. And for a very long time, you know, I had to not necessarily learn that, but I had to master that. Not that I was a big meat eater anyway, but when I truly understood or comprehend or understood, what life truly is and what it means to live, then I realized that it all started with the foundation of my temple, right? Your body is the temple of the higher self. So therefore, if you're not taking care of the body, then your higher self is going to be affected. All right. So therefore, I don't eat meat. Okay. Once in a while, I still do fish. I'm going to be honest. Once in a while, I still do fish at least 4 times a month, right? Once a week or twice a week, or 2 times within like in a week, bi-weekly. Okay, so the point is I eat fish about 4 times a week, but I'm in a month, but I don't do no type of flesh or meat, whatever. I don't do none of that, right? So I haven't done that for years, and I'm talking about years on years, right? I don't eat rice, not because I feel rice is unhealthy, but the kind of rice that they give us, I don't eat that. Okay, I don't eat that because for one, rice has a lot of high carbs. I don't do high carbs. I keep my body lean, right? So I don't do a lot of high carbs. I don't eat rice. I don't eat bread because even with in rice and bread, right? They put all these poisons in there that cause diabetes, right? You'll realize that a lot of the foods that we eat in the US that they give us to eat in the US, a lot of other countries, they ban those foods. Why is that? Hmm? Why is that? Because those foods are poisonous. They are poisoning your system. So I don't eat that. Okay. So I don't eat white flour. I don't do none of that. Once again, I'm just giving you what I do. Okay. I don't smoke. I don't drink. And when I say I don't smoke, I'm talking about I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke weed. I don't do none of that. Now, you do what you want to. I'm not telling you weed is bad. I'm not telling you weed is good. I'm just telling you that I don't do it. Okay. Me personally. Okay. Because I don't think I should cloud my higher self with smoke. You feel me? People don't realize that when you deal with smoke, smoke is an energy. Everything carries energy, right? And smoke is an energy. When you look at smoke, what does it remind you of? It reminds you of a ghost. right? Now, when you look at semblance or how the spirit, when you look at how the spirit is portrayed, the spirit is always portrayed or comes off as a ghost, right? Now, can you imagine two different energies on two different frequencies, right? You have the spiritual energy, which is actually in the form of a ghost, smoke, and then you have another type of energy, which is from whether it's from cigarette or weed, another type of smoke, another type of energy. Now, if those two are not in sync with each other, then they're going to be enemies. There's going to be an adversary, one to the other. So one is going to be the Satan of the other. And all Satan means is adversary. You see what I'm saying? That's all Satan means. All Satan means is adversary. Satan is not a man with a pitchfork in a red outfit, okay? All Satan means is adversary. So therefore, if your spirit, your higher self, is in the form of the breath, which is the ghost, okay, smoke, then you have another type of energy coming in with smoke. What do you think is going to happen? So that's why I don't smoke, right? If I were to partake in any type of smoking, okay, when it comes to marijuana, weed, ganja, whatever you call it, then I would do it through a spiritual ceremony, okay, where I would make sure that I cleanse the energy of the weed, and I would do a whole ritual before I put that in my system. So I bind those two energies. If I'm going to bind those two energies, there has to be synergy, okay? And anytime there's synergy, then it works for the greater good. So for me, that's why I don't do it, okay? Another way, if I'm going to intake that, then I would actually boil it as a tea. I would do it through a tea, that if I were to do it, all right? So I just wanted to kind of point that out, okay? Because I'm not saying that it's bad. All I'm just saying is I don't think it's good to just intake all that smoke into your temple. But as a tea, I think personally, I don't think there's a problem with it, right? So I don't drink, I don't smoke. The reason why I don't drink is because, once again, liquor is called a spirit, all right? You see, we have to comprehend that there is no accidents with anything. There are no coincidences with anything. You feel what I'm saying? There are no coincidences. So there's a reason why liquor, alcohol, is called a spirit. Why? Because it affects your spirit. Okay? It is two energies, okay? And they are opposites, and one affect the other. So that's why I don't drink spirits, okay? Alcohol, liquor, okay? So I don't eat junk food. Junk food, all those foods have demon energies. They have demonic energies. Okay, they're giving you that for a reason, so that you don't ascend into your higher self. Okay, so the junk foods, they have demons. Alcohol have demons. Smoke has demons. Drugs has demons. I don't do none of that. I never have, and I never will. I was fortunate enough to be raised by both my parents, and they were very strict. What also helped me was my mom was a police officer for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So, and enough said, right? So you could imagine the discipline. She was a hardcore, and still is a hardcore Christian. You feel me? So I grew up with some strict rules. Okay. So that helped me out a whole lot, not just a little bit, but a whole lot. So we're talking about the junk foods. Okay. I'm just giving you, once again, how I take care of my temple, right? So the junk foods, the drugs, the alcohols, the cigarettes, or the weed smoking, okay? Sugars, salt, because you see, your body produces natural sugars already, right? But if I want any kind of sugar, then I get it from natural foods. Like some of my treats and my snacks are dates, right? So, and not the sugary artificial dates. I'm talking about the organic dates. So I use that if I feel like, you know what, I want to have some type of, some type of sugar, okay? Because I like sweets once in a while, right? I don't eat salt, right? I abstain from salt as much as I can. Why? Because I'm already the salt of the earth. You see, when you know who you truly are, all that's already in you. So that's why you are called the salt of the earth. All right. So I don't need salts. I don't drink a lot of H2O. Okay. Now I'll tell you why. And by no means I want anybody to take this the wrong way. Okay. But people who are and I don't like using that term melanin, but I'm going to use that term melanin, right? People who are highly rich in melanin or carbon-based beings, okay, they have a different genetic makeup, physical makeup, okay, than the recessive gene or the albino, okay? So therefore, one body or one's makeup is constructed of what's called light from the ether, the sunlight. They are solar beings. And the other, okay, which is the pale, the recessive, those beings are lunar beings. So therefore, their body need more water because they are lunar beings. The solar beings, they are a fire. So therefore, I get my water naturally from fruits because a lot of H2O is not good for me. And once again, I'm just telling you what I do, okay? Because once again, I'm a fire being. Too much H2O is going to put out my fire. So I want to keep my fire burning. So therefore, I get my water from fruits, all right? I drink a lot of coconut water. I make an attempt to drink coconut water at least 3 or 4 times during, I would say, a 7-day period. All right. I'm not going to say weak because I don't have any weakness. Now, a lot of you may think I'm crazy when I am very particular with my words. I am particular with my words because when you speak, you are casting spells. And I know what words are. So I don't have any weaks. I am not weak. So therefore, even if the days, I don't even like saying days because I'm not in a daze. However, I'm going to say that within a 7-day period, okay, I make an attempt to drink at least 3 to 4 or 5 coconuts or coconut water. Yes. Also, I get like Patty said, watermelons, apples. Once in a while, I eat apples. I was never really a big fan of apples, but for whatever reason, I don't know why. But strawberries, grapes with seeds, and the fruits that I eat, they have to have seeds. If they don't have seeds, I'm not going to eat them. Okay, I'm not going to eat them. Now, once in a while, I may come across some tangerines where if I feel like, you know what, I really want some, if whether it has seeds or not, I may eat 1 or 2, right? But over 99% of the fruits that I eat, it has seeds. Okay. All right. So I eat food with seeds. Okay. We already talked about the junk foods. I don't do no junk foods, period. I don't eat fried chicken. Well, like I said, I don't eat meat. So I don't do none of that stuff. Right. So the junk foods, I was never a big fan of junk food because why? I grew up again in a home where my mother cooked every day. Okay. And she taught us how to cook. So we were not allowed to eat junk food. So I am very thankful for that. Very, very thankful for that. We were not allowed to eat junk food. Okay. So once you realize that, you could overcome these demons by changing the way you eat, then you will be on your way because it's really demons that's actually in those bad foods and those bad practices. They are actual demons that's being put in them, that energy, demonic energy. And that's why a lot of people are actually not balanced. Okay. They're not balanced. And if your body is sick physically, then it affects what you call your spiritual wealth. I'm going to repeat that. If you are sick or diseased physically, you're going to be diseased spiritually. It just goes hand in hand, and you cannot escape that. It is what it is. And the more that your spirit is affected, the weaker your spirit gets by eating those bad foods. Then guess what? The weaker you become. It just is what it is. Okay. Someone asked, also, what are your thoughts on peppers and spicy foods? There's nothing wrong with that. The body needs a little spice sometimes. You see what I'm saying? Because your body is actually a fire of light, and light can be hot. So there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. So the junk food, definitely, like I told y'all before, they're demons. All right. This world is being governed by demonic energies. Now, it doesn't mean that they are not good energies or good people. They are. I mean, the good outweigh the bad. I promise you that, because if it were not that way, then the world, it would have been done already. Okay. But you have to realize that the so-called powers there be, and I'm saying so-called because they have no power over me, but the so-called powers there be, their goal is to kill, steal, and destroy. Their goal is to kill, steal, and destroy. And they will do it through the foods that you eat. They will do it through the things that you listen to. Another form of eating, okay? Another form of eating is thought, or the things that you listen to, okay? People don't realize how significant that is. I'm talking about the food of thought, all right? The food of thought. Many people will sit and listen to music that's derogatory, okay? Low vibrational music. It doesn't necessarily have to be rap music, because, you know, I don't want to be picking on just that genre, but I'm talking about period. Any type of music that has a low frequency, a low vibrational frequency, whether it's just the beat or whether it's with the words, guess what? It's going to affect you spiritually. Okay. And you wonder why everybody, again, is out of balance, because they take those things for granted. You cannot take those things for granted. When you sit down listening to music that's calling you bitches and hoes and niggas and killing and blowing people's heads off, what do you think is going to happen? My brothers and sisters, to every action, there's a reaction. Everything that you put out, you will get. It is really that simple. We cannot escape that. People don't realize that they create their own heaven and their own hell. Okay. Now, when you create your own hell, you expect to go pray to somebody to get you out of your hell to take you into heaven. It doesn't work that way. Okay. It doesn't work that way, my people. No. You are the one that's going to take you to your hell and your heaven. So therefore, anything that you think of and you put within your own thought process, you also become that. Okay? You also become that. And that's a fact. And because of the temptations, you see, we allow our egos, okay, to lead us into temptation. That's what we do. It creates the illusion, the greed, the jealousy, the hatred, the racism, trying to control others. All these things, it really amounts to your spiritual handicap, your spiritual retardation. And that is a thing. So it takes a lot of work to build yourself. I see a lot of people on the internet, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, talking about this spirituality, but yet still their actions, it is totally not coherent, or it's not in sync with what they're saying. You feel me? It's like they're telling you one thing, but their actions are saying something different. Those are called hypocrites. Okay? If you're going to be about it, then be about it. It is really that simple. So even another form of energy, because remember, everything is energy. The food is energy, right? Which is energy, or what will happen eventually once you eat that food. Energy is external, but energy is internal. So every form of energy affects your energy. I'm going to repeat that. Every form of energy affects your energy. Somebody asked me, what are your thoughts on petty fires? I don't even know what you're talking about. What does that have to do with anything? So I'm just going to ignore that. All right. No disrespect. All right. You should have your own thoughts on that. Right. So what I'm saying is energy, your energy affects your energy. Okay. I'm not sure about cauliflower. I heard it was a hybrid. I don't know. Okay. So, but I don't eat cauliflower. So I don't know. All right. But with that being said, right, it takes work. Okay. And that's why a lot of people, it's easier for them to just let go and say, you know what? I'm just going to eat anything because they don't have discipline. Let's look at the word discipline, right? When you look at the word discipline, what do you see? You see disciple. I'm going to repeat that. When you see the word discipline, you see the word disciple. And the only way to be disciplined, you have to take control of your disciples. Now, I've said this many times before. In each and every one of us, within your mind, within your thoughts, right? There are 12 disciples. They are your 12 faculties that's within your mind. And you have to be able to be in control. You have to teach your disciples in order for them to become disciplined. And once you have mastered your 12 disciples, then you will be disciplined. That's why it's a challenge for many people, because they have mastered their disciples. You see, the allegorical Yeshua or Jesus, whatever you want to call that entity or that energy, right? She had to master the disciples to become the 13th son. The 13th son is the light, the central sun. You see what I'm saying? And once you master the 12 disciples with yourself, you become the 13th son, and your solar plex, your solar chakra will be completely activated and your light will shine. But because of the foods that you eat, that means you are dwelling in your lower chakra, okay? The foods that you eat, it keeps you in your lower chakra. And that's why so many people are imbalanced. You feel me? So it takes work. It's not impossible. Okay. You don't have to go cold turkey, like I always tell people, because you have been eating meat all your life. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get up tomorrow and just stop eating meat. Now, if you have that discipline, then you could do that, because some people can. But if you don't have the discipline, meaning that you haven't mastered your disciples, then do it slowly. If you are 100% meat eater, then you could do it in percentages. What do I mean by that? Go from 100% eating meat to 90%. So every 21 days, okay, you change your eating habits and you will change your life. So every 21 days, you could do it in increments of 7, 14, 21, 28, etc. Right? Because 7 is the magic number. So you could do it for 7 days, 14, or 21, right? But every 21 days, I'm saying 21 because 3 sevens are 21, right? So the 3 and the 7 is the magic number, right? So therefore, every 21 days, what you want to do is you want to cut down your meat intake from 100% to 90% every 21 days until you get to 80%, 70%, 60%, etc., until you get to 10%. And when you get to 10%, you go down to 7%, right? And when you get down to 7%, then you could take your way down to the 1 and then the 0. And then you could weigh yourself off of the meat. Okay. Most people think that they're eating meat because because we are being fooled that it's the only way to get your protein, right? That's not true, my brothers and sisters, because why? If it was the only way to get your protein, then therefore animals wouldn't be eating plants. Okay? So you were telling me the only way for you to get your protein is through the meat, but yet still the meat that you eat plants. So therefore you are eating recycled protein. So if you're eating recycled protein, why not just go straight to the source? If the animals eat the plants and they get their protein from the plants, and you are getting your protein from the animals, that means that you are dealing with the middleman, which is the beast, the animal. Okay? So you're dealing with the beast to get your protein when you could go straight to the plant itself. So you see, it's your mind that's playing tricks on you because of what you are being taught. So stop eating the recycled protein and get it straight from the plants. All right. So that's what I do. Now, when I take in my veggies or my greens, I do that through a form of juicing. Okay. It's only once in a while I will eat the unjuiced greens. Okay. I do it through juicing because the juicing reminds me of the blood, the green blood that actually flows within me. Okay. So with that being said, the original human, and I'm saying hue as in Hue, right? The original human, our natural complexion is actually green, like the plants of the chlorophyll of the plants, right? But because of oxidation, our blood looks what you call red. Okay, it creates hemoglobin, right? But if there's lack of oxygen, and there's a higher essence of what you call hydrogen, then guess what? Our blood would look green. Our blood would look green. Okay, so therefore, I drink that as my water. Okay, for the most part, the juicing of the green leaves, and I drink that green juice. I do that at least 3 times out of a 7-day period. Okay, or a 4-day period. Okay, that's the literally the water of life. So I do that. So those are some of the practices that I personally do. Also, you could get your proteins from nuts, right? I do cashews, I do Brazilian nuts, I do walnuts, I do pecans, you know what I mean? I do almonds, and all those things I make sure that I get it from an organic spot. All right. There's an organic spot in Brooklyn that I get it from, right? So those are just my health practices. That's what I do. Okay. And I'm telling you, it transforms you. You become an entire new being because your cells, our cells, okay, they rejuvenate themselves every so many days, weeks, months, and years. You could literally become a whole new being by changing the way you eat, and then your cells will literally rejuvenate your mind and make you a whole new person. Okay, so you could become a new person by eating bad things, or you could become a new person by eating good things. It's really up to you. You decide how you want to ascend. You feel me? Yes, it may seem when it comes to in terms of what is cost effective. Most people think that it's cheaper to eat bad than to eat good. I promise you that's not the case. Once I started mastering how to eat, I literally stopped spending more money on food, because once you start eating properly or you start eating healthy, then you become less hungry. Because why? Now you are not just living off the food that you eat, but your spiritual elevation is sustaining your physical body. And that's how it becomes, it works together. That's the perfect marriage. Because I'm telling you, like, literally, right? I could have just one green smoothie, leafy smoothie, you know what I mean, for the day, and I'm good, and I don't feel hungry. Sometimes I could just have some fruits for the day and I'm good. Sometimes I could just have some cashews for the day and I'm good. Other times I will have a combination of the cashews, the leafy greens, and maybe fish. Sometimes it depends on the appetite that I have. But I'm telling you, once you start eating the way you're supposed to, you get less hungry and you spend less money. All right. So that works out itself, right? Another thing is, if you're eating properly, it says, have you heard of Ramadan? I've heard of it, but I don't practice that. I don't, but I've heard of it. I don't know exactly what it means, but I've heard of it. Okay. And another thing is, you might spend a little more money at first. I'm just being honest. All right. You will spend a little money, a little more at first, because you're getting used to or changing your eating habit, right? So you will eat more of the good things until you get used to it. All right. But once you get used to it, you will spend more, because since you are actually weaning yourself off the bad habits or the bad foods that you eat, it will make you more hungry. Okay. Because people eat with their minds, and that's why they're always hungry. But the hunger that they have is only of a physical desire and not a spiritual desire. Because if you're truly ascended in your higher self, then your higher self is not attracted to the bad foods or the demonic foods. It's not, it just doesn't work that way. Okay. So stop seeing food with your physical eyes and start seeing food with your spiritual eye, the single eye. I'm going to repeat that. Stop seeing food with your physical eyes and start seeing food with your spiritual eye. So it's practice, practice, practice. The way you practice is the way you play. Every professional, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, whatever the case is, right? You will see them practicing. And when they get to actually play the game, they play like professionals. The same thing as working out. You don't go to the gym for the first time and start benching 500 pounds. No, you want to start small, right? So it's the same thing with your eating habits. Don't be too hard on yourself. You don't have to do what everybody's doing or at the pace that everybody's doing it. Take your time, work within your own pace, and I promise you, you will get there. But first, it's mental. Another thing, create visual boards. What do I mean by that? Okay, you want to write your goals on the wall, on your refrigerator, okay, over your television, over your bed. So you always see those things, okay? You always see those things. Put it on paper. I do not eat meat. I do not eat junk food. I do not smoke. I do not drink. Like, you put it, okay? Those are called negative confessions. That is part of the culture, AKA the laws of Ma'at. I do not, I will not. You feel me? That's what they are. And all negative confessions are is to produce a positive result. They're not commandments. You see, commandments came from the creation of mankind. You feel me? But when you're dealing with organic beings, You're dealing with negative confessions. You feel me? That will produce a positive result. So if you tell yourself, I do not eat meat, and you don't eat meat, then the positive result will be you don't eat meat. It is really that simple. So put up your negative confessions. I do not. I will not. Not I will not. I do not. Because when you say I will not, yes, you are willing it, but it's not specific. There's no specific time. But if you say I do not, then you are speaking in the now. You feel me? Because all the now is literally the past and the present on time. That's all it is. So you want to be on time and not be in the future. I will. You feel me? No, you want to be in the now. Take yourself out of time and say, hey, you know what? I do not eat meat. I do not do this. I do not do that. So once you create those negative confessions, like I said, then it becomes your positive reality. Do I eat tofu? No, I don't. I don't know why. I just don't. I mean, certain things like I'm just not, I don't have a feeling for. Not because I think it's bad or good. I just don't eat it. Maybe because I don't see it around me. Maybe that's another thing. Okay. So I just wanted to come on here and share some insight and some things with y'all. You feel me? Because once again, like I said, to live, you have to experience evil. If you have lived, you will experience the devil. And when you heal yourself, you heal your body, you will heal your mind. Because, when you look at the word heal and you spell it backwards, you get Leah. Leah is L-E-A-H. Heal, L-E-A-L. Spelled backwards is Leah, L-E-A-H. And Leah is symbolic for the human soul. So, in the metaphysical sense, okay, Leah means the human soul. And Leah was the wife of one of the wives of the allegorical Jacob. Okay. And Jacob, the allegorical meaning of Jacob is the supplanter. Okay. So the allegorical definition of Jacob is the supplanter, and one of his wives, which is Leah, okay, is the human soul. And when you spell Leah backwards, it is heal. You feel me? So anytime you heal yourself, you feel me? You are healing the soul, which is Leah. And when you marry that to Jacob, the supplanter, then you live a life in abundance. All that stuff is allegory. You feel me? But it's the allegory of the man. You did. You feel me? So focus on healing yourself. Activate Leah in you. And when I say Leah, I'm talking about the human soul. Uplift Leah. Okay? And once you uplift Leah, Leah could only be uplifted, all right? Or Leah is uplifted by her husband, the supplanter, Jacob. So he provides for Leah, uplifts Leah, and therefore through Leah, you heal yourself. In other words, you heal the soul. And once you heal the soul, the spirit and the soul intermarries, and man, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. It's bliss. You feel me? And that's what it is, man. So I hope that helps, for those that was seeking some type of, because people are asking, hey, Chief, what you eat, what you do, what you this and you that. And when it comes to workout, once I rise, right? Once I rise, the first thing I do is I give my thanks and I give my acknowledgments, to my ancestors, because, people don't realize that the people that you're praying to are actually your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? What religion did was religion just took your ancestors out of the pictures and give these entities all these different names and tell you that they are gods that you got to worship. But if you were to do an experiment and start from your mother and your father, and then go to their mother and their father, and go to their mother and their father, and you do that into time immemorial, you're going to run into the same gods that they got you praying to. The problem is they got you disconnected from the lineage that you came from and gave you the lineage of other gods. In other words, other ancestors that's not connected to you. So they're not working for you, and you wonder why your life is the way that you are. But yet still the book told you, honor your mother and father. You feel me? So I honor my ancestors, the lineage of the line that I came from, or came through rather, from time immemorial. And they are the gods that I talk to. So I give them the honor, I give them the praise when I first rise. That's the first thing that I do. And then once I do that, I get on the floor, I do my crunches, I do my sit-ups, I do my push-ups, I do some squats, I do some working, I do a light meditation. Nothing crazy. Okay? Nothing crazy. So that's what I do. I haven't done physical weights in over 15 years, but yet still my body looks like I've been doing weights, but I don't do weights. I just use my natural body. I have let me see. I have a pair of 5 pound dumbbells. I have a pair of 10-pound dumbbells, and I have resistant bands. That's all I do. I use my internal strength to build strength. You feel me? Because the real strength comes from within. So I use my body to create that external strength. You did. So that's what it's all about. All right. That's what it's all about, man. So like I told y'all before, it's all about discipline. Your disciples, start with that. All right. Even before you get into the journey of changing the way you eat or the way you live, in other words, dealing with the devil. Okay, because that's what live is. To live, you have to live with to live, you have to experience evil. And if you have lived, then you will experience the devil. So therefore, to start to live and experiencing evil, where evil will not affect you, you have to start changing the way you eat, the way you think, and that will put you in balance, okay, with the higher self. And that's what it's all about. You feel me? So remember that everything starts from the spiritual realm, but it doesn't just end in the physical. Okay? It starts in the spiritual realm. It's a cycle. It starts in the spiritual realm. It comes into the physical and back to the spiritual. Okay? Even with a baby, and I'm not going to go off course, all right? But I'm just giving you an example. Even with a baby, before a baby is actually put in the woman's womb, a baby is actually already alive or is brought into manifestation if 3 months, a whole 3 months before the woman gets pregnant. A woman actually carries a baby for 12 months. All right, for 12 months. She's not pregnant for 9, she's pregnant for 12. Let me explain this, right? The first 3 months of the baby's life, before the physical sperm hit the physical egg, the spiritual sperm and the spiritual egg already met up for 3 months. So by the time the baby get into that womb, meaning that the physical egg and the sperm, that baby is already 3 months. And then the 9 months plus the 3 is 12. You feel me? So know the value of the spiritual connection. You dig? You don't choose your babies choose you. You feel me? So when you go into the club or you go to the bar or wherever you go and you see that woman or you see that man and you're like, oh man, she got to find this. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Guess what? You're not the one doing it. It's the baby that's putting all that in play, because that's the portal or the means or the how that baby want to come have its experience through those two people. So once all that happened and that synergy happens, that what we call I know the word immaculate conception. That immaculate conception happens 3 months before the physical conception. You feel me? And that's how babies come into being, through an immaculate conception of everything being worked out in the spirit. Okay, the sperm meet the egg in the spirit, and then it takes 3 months to get into the physical being, where the actual physical contact, the sperm meet the egg, and that's the process from which the baby comes forth. Somebody said, what are my thoughts about Israel, about Israelites? That's a whole nother conversation. All right. All I'm just gonna say is this. Okay. I'm a God. And again, I'm using that word God very lightly because that's the term that we use, right? I'm a God having a physical experience in the flesh. So whatever you want to call the flesh, that's on you. You feel me? Whatever you want to call the flesh, that's on you. You feel me? So that's all I'm going to say on the Israelite thing right now, because that's a whole nother conversation. It's a whole nother conversation, which I really don't want to get into right now. So, I'm a God having a physical experience, and whatever you want to call that physical experience, or whatever faith you want to live it through, that's on you, because all those things are faiths that people made up. You feel me? And it is what it is. Whether it came from your ancestors that came here as gods, or whether it came from whoever. The point is, it's all physical. All right? So I'll just leave it as that. All right? So what if the man and the woman were at the bar, and the intoxicated their spirit is not right, and a baby is conceived now? Then guess what? That is what the baby came to experience. We have to realize that whether a baby comes into a toxic relationship or not, okay, that is what the baby came to experience. My brothers and sisters, we live in a world of duality. Not every baby is going to come here, okay? Not every baby is going to come here to experience the goodness of life, all right? Now, you may ask, well, Chief, you're trying to tell me that someone who come here to experience rape, was that their choice? Whether you call it a choice or experience, it is. Because you're not aware of it, it doesn't mean it's not so. You feel me? Someone who come here to get murdered by a gunshot or a car accident, guess what? That's what they came here to experience. Because that's the way they wanted to exit this physical world. That is just part of the experience. Okay? So, Patty, to answer your question, okay, whether it came from what's called a righteous or an agreeable situation, or a disagreeable or unrighteous situation, it is still an experience. The experience is what matters. That's all it is. So some people just came here to be disagreeables. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. In this round of incarnation, they came to be disagreeables. They came to kill. They came to steal. They came to destroy. They came to lie. They came to rob people. They came to, that's just what it is. And nothing you do or say could save them from this realm, because that's their purpose. So when somebody show you their true colors, or somebody tell you, this is who I am, trust me, believe, and don't try to change them, because you're wasting your time and you're wasting your energy. You cannot change the unchangeable in this incarnation. Okay? It may take them another incarnation to come back and repent and live a different life. You feel me? But once it's written in stone that I came to incarnate within this age, because everything is an age. Okay? It's an age. So therefore, in every age, every soul that incarnate in that age, it picks up characteristics. And the characteristics that it agreed upon to come experience or put into that realm, it cannot change. It cannot change. Now, if it repents within that age, then that's what it was meant to do. All right. But everybody is going to live that agreement that they made. Every single one is going to live out that agreement, that contract, that covenant that they made before they manifest in this physical realm. It will be played out. It has to be played out. Okay? So there are souls that came here from the very inception, and they were meant to be what we call righteous souls or agreeable souls. And there are souls that came to be disagreeable or unrighteous souls. Okay? Oh, yes, that's what contractions are. Contractions are contracts. Okay? That's what they are. And Patty, I'm glad you noticed that. Okay? It is all the same thing. A contraction is a contract with the mother and the child, that the mother is agreeing to going through the contractions. You know, she's acknowledging that the child is coming through. That's the contract. If there's no contractions, then there's no contract. Okay. So it's again, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. So I just wanted to come on here, like I said, to just share a little bit of information. Um, before I just to share a little bit of information with y'all, man. That's all. That's all. All right, because again, a lot of people are asking me, well, what you do with that. So I was like, you know what? Let me just come on here and just give a little bit on insight of that, the things I eat, the thoughts, and it's such a beautiful journey. The journey is actually beautiful, right? Because when you are protecting yourself from all these different type of energies, it feels so good, man. You see what I'm saying? And he says, so what about if you have a C-section? I mean, I really cannot, speak on that because I don't have any form of expertise in that. I'm not sure when women who have C-sections, if they have contractions. I'm not sure, but on my own knowledge, on what I know, I think people have C-sections because there are certain type of complications, or some people just choose to. I don't know if there's a spiritual implication to just having a C-section without the child, without the child, being at risk. But a C-section, I cannot really, talk on that. You know what I mean? I can't really talk on that. Patty, I see you said the C, like C-section, C. Well, of course, we know the doctor is always patting the water, you know what I'm saying? But he was actually talking about, the cutting of the stomach, So I mean, if there is, some type of health risk, to the baby, I'm certainly sure a C-section, is nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? I doubt there's anything wrong with that. You know? All right. But yeah, man. So like I was saying, it's just and once you start living that way, you find such peace within yourself. You find so much bliss within yourself. It's just amazing. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. And you are able to detect negative energies. You're able to, you become clairvoyant, you see things, you feel things. And like I said, it's a beautiful feeling, man. Oh, and another thing that I do, I sun gaze, right? I sun gaze at least 5 out of 7, a 5 day out of a 7-day period. Okay, so I sun gaze. I have some different times that I sun gaze. Sometimes I sun gaze at the sunrise. Sometimes if I want that full charge, then I sun gaze at the zenith of the sun, when when she is actually in the highest zenith around 12 or 1 p.m. Then other times, I would sun gaze, in what's called the evening time, during the set or the setting. All right. So it depends on what I'm doing, how busy I am, or when I could catch, a little time too. All right. When I sun gaze at the zenith of sunrise, then I don't just go look into the sun. I start by looking at the rays, the sun of the rays of the mother, because like I said, most people think the sun is male, but the sun is not male. The sun is the mother. Okay, the mother manifests over the earth. Okay, so when I look at the mother, I look at her sons, and her sons are the rays. So I look at the rays first, and then once my eyes get acclimated to the sons of the mother, which is the rays, then I look at the actual mother, and then I talk to the mother, to do whatever, whether it's to replenish my soul or light up my solar plex or whatever the case is, or activate or cleanse my chakras, which are the seven seals, so that's what I do. You feel me? So I have different times, and the earlier part of the sunrise, when the sun is in its golden stage, that's Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? So, I sun gaze some of that time as well. So again, it depends on when I catch it. Okay, it depends on when I catch it. But all those things I do, to become the wholesome being, that I am. You know what I mean? And that's it. All right. So I hope this information helped. I don't think I'm glad I stayed on course, because sometimes I get distracted, by other questions, and that takes me into a whole nother conversation. So I'm glad I stayed on point with that. You know what I mean? So again, it's all about your discipline, not allowing the ego to take control of you. And of course, the ego is activated, by, or it's motivated by desire, lust, pride, anger, delusion, greed, jealousy, hatred, racism, trying to control people. You know what I mean? So once you're able to kind of let go of that slowly but surely and start changing the way you think, changing the way you eat, then you could start becoming the wholesome being or the righteous being that you're supposed to, or that you choose to be, put it that way. I'm not going to say what you're supposed to, because some people are supposed to be otherwise, but if you so choose to be that type of being, then those are the steps that, you take, or I took, to help me ascend, into the being that I am today. All right. So just wanted to kind of share that bit of information, with y'all, and let you know that it's possible. It doesn't matter where you are at in your journey. Always understand that you could always start over. That's the beauty. That's the beauty about time. You see, when you're within time, time gives you the opportunity to reset the clock. So you could always do that, because everybody's time doesn't have to be yours. You could have your own watch and put it 3 hours ahead of everybody's time, or put it 3 hours behind of everybody's time. You see what I'm saying? So now you become the father and the mother of your own time. So therefore, what I'm saying is you could reset your clock. You feel me? And then start all over again. And that's the beauty about this life. You feel me? It's a beautiful thing. You don't have to let evil control your life. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You feel me? So it's really up to you. Comprehend and overstand and understand that whatever you put in is what you will get out. Too many people take that for granted and thinking they could just do what they want to people, and all of a sudden, oh well, I could just ask for forgiveness. And no, it doesn't work that way. Okay, You or everyone have to deal with their karma, each and every one of us, no matter what it is. So I just choose to be as righteous as I can, and I strive for that every single day. Every single day when I rise, I make it an obligation to say, well, this is what this day is going to be like. Because we are so bombarded with all this negativity, you always have to be putting in that positive work. So now it creates that balance. And that's how you create balance. Okay? And that's it. So you guys enjoy the rest of this beautiful continuation, man. Yo, definitely. I mean, most definitely. You have to be, first, you have to be the master of self. Once you're the master of self, then you will be able to control your destiny. You know what I mean? That's why it's called manifest destiny. In order to manifest your destiny, you have to first know what your destiny is, and then you master, you manifest your destiny. But first, you have to master yourself. You have to become master of self. And once you become master of self, whatever that destiny is, then you're able to manifest it. You're able to master it. Nobody could do it but you. It doesn't mean that you cannot get some type of assistance, okay, from guardian angels or brothers and sisters. I mean, we are all guardian angels to each other. You could be a guardian angel, or you could be, a demon angel to somebody. It's really up to you, what you want to put out there in the universe. You feel me? But I choose to be a guardian angel. That's just me. I cannot tell anybody else how to live their life. You know what you came here. You know what your purpose is. I know what my purpose is. My purpose is I came here to give life. Okay, to give life to the spiritually dead. I came here to teach people how to heal themselves. I came here to teach people how to find themselves. I came here to teach people how to build themselves. I'm a builder. In my past lives, I was one of the builders. I was one of the builders of the universe. Not everybody was a builder. And we have to comprehend that. You feel me? We have to comprehend that. How can you know what you were? You know what you were by what you are, because what you are, you have always been, and what you are, you will always be. And I'm talking about not the illusion of yourself. I'm talking about the true reality of what you are, the core being, because you could create an illusion of what you are not, but you cannot fool the universe. You cannot fool your true self. You feel me? So, but once you have found your true self and what your true self is, it has always been. So for me, I found my true self, and I was one of the builders of the universe. Okay, while others are part of the universe, I was one of the builders. And that's why it was easy for me to fall into my purpose. I was one of the life givers. So that's why it was easy for me to fall into my purpose of now giving life. Whether it's spiritual life or physical life, that is my makeup. It's part of my DNA. And that's what I'm doing. I'm living my purpose, and it's a beautiful thing. So when you know who you are, and in fact, when you know what you were, then you'll know who you are. And if you know who you are, then you'll know what you'll become, because what you become, you were. And what you were, you are. So once you take all this out of the concept of time, then you are in the now. And that's why I am living my now. And it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So take care of yourselves, learn to love, and that's all I could say, man. Now it doesn't mean that, like I said, it doesn't mean that, sometimes, you have to bring out certain energies, you know what I mean? Because that's just the balance in life. But for me, when I have to bring out certain energies that is not the righteous energy, then there are certain entities that could do that. You know what I mean? And that's what they were there for. You feel me? So that's just what it is. Like I have to do a video on this brother that did me wrong. Like, you on the internet calling people brother and this and that, but then you're robbing from people, and that's not a good thing. So I have to do a video to straighten that gentleman, that man. He's not a gentleman, he's not even a man. That demon that's posing as a man. I have to do a video and put him in the hands of, certain demons to deal with him. You feel me? And that's what those demons are there for. And we have to comprehend that. The same way that you could use, the righteous gods to do certain righteous things. There are also unrighteous gods, they call demons, to do certain things. You feel me? So for me, that's what they are there for. So I have to put him in their hands. Let them deal with him. So I have to do a video and tag him in it, but that's going to come a whole later down, because for the past, I would say within the past 3 to 4 7-day periods, what you may call 3 to 4 weeks, right? I've had some type of thoughts, and I had to kind of calm down and release that type of energy because it wasn't productive, especially with the work that I'm doing now. You feel me? So I had to let that go. So once I'm done with what I'm doing, then I'm going to get into that energy and deal with this man demon and deal with him. You feel me? So once you know the balance and you know how to, again, master of self, then you know how to move through the seas. You know how to move through the air. You feel me? And you know how to deal with, the certain elements of what we call life. All right. So, but me, I'm just a loving being, a caring being. And I like to see people prosper. I like to see people build because I'm a builder. You know what I mean? I like to see people live. But I tell people, don't get it twisted, because the opposite of live is evil. And we all got that in us. And a lot of people take that for granted. You feel me? They take that for granted, and they don't realize that there is always, a side that could be flipped. You feel me? They really don't get that. Well, because he's such a, or she's such a meek individual, then I could take advantage of them. Not knowing that the people who are meek and the people who are the most loving, they could be the most dangerous. And people don't understand that. They don't understand that. And they don't know how to respect boundaries and respect people. So sometimes you have to step out of that character, and then you have to deal with those man or women demons. These male or female demons, you got to deal with them accordingly. All right. So, but I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this build. And, in conclusion, I just want to say this, you are truly, you are truly the one that has the key. Okay. Now, no one could run from their karma. It's impossible. All right. So you are the one with the key. All right. And no one has that key but you. Just like how no one has your fingerprints but you. There's no other individual on this planet that has your fingerprints, right? That's how unique you are. So because of your uniqueness, that means you have a unique karma. What do I mean by that? It means that only your prince could activate your karma. All right. Meaning that nobody could carry it for you. All right. So the whole concept of somebody dying for your sins is an illusion. Nobody could die for your sins. You feel me? You got to die for your own. So don't think you could just do what you want and then he died for my sins, so I'm good. No, you're not. Because you're living the illusion that somebody died for your sins. So from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Saturday, Friday, Sunday, whatever the case is, you could do what you want. But on Sunday, you get to be the good the good child. No, you can't do that, man. No, you're going to deal with that karma. And hypocrisy is one of the karmas that has a heavy, heavy, heavy price to pay. You feel me? Because you're trying to be deceitful. And deceit is dangerous. Okay, so there's a heavy toll or a price to pay for deceit. Always remember that. So it's truly you. No one is judging you but you. All right. And I'm talking, when I say you, I'm talking about the real you, not the illusion that you wake up in the mirror and you see. That's the illusion. That's not the you. I'm talking about the real you that you cannot escape. It is the one that's setting the karma for you. So when you think you're hurting people and nobody could see, guess what? That higher self sees. And then your karma is already set in place. So all I'm just saying is, if it's in your nature and you came here to do good, then be good. But beware of the others that came not to be righteous, but to be unrighteous. Beware of them. That's all I'm just saying. But only you could create your hell, and only you could create your heaven. It is really that simple. It's up to you. And heaven is real, and hell is real, but it's not what they told you it was. You feel me? No. It is what you create. That's what heaven and hell is. It is what you create. Okay? So I'm going to leave it as that. Y'all have an amazing continuation. I love y'all. Your brother, Chief Kalanaga. Peace.